players are being introduced out on the field here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, and we'll be getting underway then shortly thereafter as the Rhinos and the Mariners go at it. This is the first of 5 games in 8 days for the Rhinos. 5 games in the next 8 days, all on the road. Traveling tomorrow down the road to Richmond to take on the Kickers. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive from here. Tonight after the game from Virginia Beach to Richmond. So that's the Rhinos will be taking on the Richmond Kickers tomorrow night. And then it's off to Ludlow, Massachusetts for Open Cup action on Tuesday night when they'll be meeting the New England Revolution. That'll be Tuesday night, New England Revolution from Ludlow, Massachusetts. And then the Rhinos will be coming right back down south. And the following weekend, Friday night here at Virginia Beach, and Saturday traveling to Richmond. So it's 5 games on the road in 8 days. Very tough road here for the Rhinos, as they'll have to try and make sure that they stay as fresh as possible. So we'll see, I'm sure, some early substitutions, many substitutions, and a lot of different lineup combinations for the Rhinos, as the coaches, Pat Ercole and Franco Doyle, will try and keep their players as fresh as possible. Not only that, but very warm, as it's been around in the lower 90s the last couple of days while we've been here, and the humidity level has made it very, well, I don't want to say sweltering. We've seen worse weather, but it has made it hot, and it's liable to drain a lot out of the players as they are out here on the field. I see one of the Virginia Beach players wearing a hat. He is. It's wearing like one of those knit caps, I think it is. I'll try and pick up who that is. All right, so we'll be getting underway very shortly from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex tonight as the Rhinos meet the Mariners, and this is the Raging Rhinos Radio Network. Here once again, the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as the Rhinos tonight take on the Virginia Beach Mariners. And let's check out the starting lineups, which are brought to you by MGM Associates. MGM Associates is your source for all your insurance needs. Starting out in goal for the home team, the Virginia Beach Mariners, will be Matt Nelson. And he has gone most of the way this season for the Mariners. Nelson coming in with a 6-7-2 record and 1.52 goals against average. Nelson in goal down to my right here in the first half of play. And for the defensive role, we'll look at Steve Danbuski along with Kevin Knott, Russell Hutchinson, and Joe Morelli. And through the midfield, we'll find Jeff Billick, Jacob Fenger, Amisi Amani Doug, and Steve Shack, a newcomer, although we've heard that name before from MLS action over the last few years, but he's coming back from Sweden and has played now 3 games. Then up front, Dante Washington, another familiar MLS name, along with Carlos Garcia, is up front for the Mariners. And Garcia, the one wearing the hat. Again, it's a knit hat like you'd see in the winter, it looks like. For the Rhinos, starting out in goal tonight will be Soren Johnson. Johnson gets the nod here tonight, comes in with a 3-0 record and a 0.33 goals against average. Johnson in goal down to my left. Then defensively, we'll see Craig Dimon, Carlos Mendez, Billy Sedgwick, and Dave White on the defensive row. Through the midfield, Pato Aguilera, Yari Allnut, Noah Delgado, and Kurt Wilson, and up front Corey Woolfolk and Chris Carrieri. The Rhinos wearing the gold jerseys with black shorts and socks, and the Mariners wearing the white jerseys and socks and black shorts. And so we are ready as the Rhinos will take the kickoff, and the Rhinos shooting at the net to my right for the first half of play. There's the whistle. Here we go tonight from Virginia Beach. Brought forward by Aguilera through the center circle, drops it off on the left wing side. Sedgwick through midfield and now carried up the wing by Delgado, but knocked off his foot, and then it's hammered away and downfield. Back forward inside of his 18, the far end of the box. Johnson takes the ball as he'll move the players away. Takes his time, looks around. Johnson still again coming in with a 3-0 record. He's wanting the players to move upfield, but everybody's just sort of standing there and looking, so he just stops and waves again, says, come on, guys, move downfield, get some room here. All right, so the Rhino defenders move all the way out to the midfield line. Johnson dribbles outside the 18, still has the ball, and finally then we'll hammer it out and downfield. Coming down, a flick on by Allnut as he's up the back of Shack, and the ball rolls out of bounds on the near side. So it'll be a throw-in on the near side of the field for the Mariners. Around the restart, rather, the foul is called, of course, in the very middle as Dan Buskey will play it to the outside on the right flank and brought forward. Back to the middle again. Dan Buskey takes it, looks through, and crosses to the left wing side. There it's picked up all on the near wing by Kevin Knott. Back in the middle. Played by Morelli through out to the right side. Up the wing, Hutchinson chips it across midfield into the feet of Garcia. Turning around to the Rhino 40, looking for the through ball to Washington. Rolling down inside the 18. Johnson out first times it. Hops it way up in the air and all the way down midfield. Coming down to the Mariner 35, hit it back into the center circle, and then volleyed forward by Allnet for Woolfolk. Off the chest, settles the feet, turns toward the middle on the 35. Trying to get loose as Aguilera in on the ball, but that's taken back by Billick. And he'll play it to the outside. Hutchinson chips it through midfield long into Rhino territory. Right is back, hits it inside the 18, and picked up on the second bounce by Johnson. So the Rhino keeper has the ball. Just getting started, second minute, here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. And no score between the Rhinos and the Mariners. Rolled outside the box. Johnson again dribbles it forward out to around the 25. Waiting for players to move upfield. Well, he'll then clear it downfield all the way to the 35 once again. A flick on by Allnet for Woolfolk. Tried to tip it aside for Carrieri, but that one is deflected out to midfield. Demon with a rolling ball through. Hutchinson chips that one away. Garcia takes it, giving it off to Dove, and the Mariners with the ball. Back at his own midfield line. Garcia through the center circle, stepping up as Wilson couldn't reach it. That's tipped loose on the near side, and Knott drops it back in the middle to Morelli. Along his 35 in the middle, where it's picked up, and Dan Buskey throws it ahead. Hits it right back in the middle of the field. Dan Buskey drawing it forward. Long chip downfield, and right lets it roll, and it's down through inside to the Rhino 18, where it's stopped along the 15 by Johnson. Rhino keeper Soren Johnson up the near side, getting to it just in time to keep it in play. Mendez had to hustle for that one. Wilson tips it off for Ponto. In the middle, turns it back to the outside of the near wing for Mendez. Drops it back to his 25, and down right will send it along the near wing, but that's shanked out of bounds on the near side. So a throw in for the Mariners near midfield. Kevin Knott, the defender, to take the throw in. Along on the near side. In the middle, right moving in, but that's knocked loose, and Allnet in the middle. Now Will, first time in across midfield for Carrieri, lays it off to his right, and Ponto catching up to the ball. He'll deliver down inside the 18. Woolfolk gets the left foot on it, tips it toward the line, and out to grab it at his 6 is the keeper Nelson. Rolls it straight up the slot, ahead for Billick, but turns back for the ball, spinning at his 35 to get away from Aguilera. Turns it to the outside, and in the right wing for Amani Dove. Long midfield to Washington as he runs into Devon. His up end, the ball taken away. It's chipped up the left wing side by Allnet. Going to the far corner, Dan Buskey back. Watched by Woolfolk, and the ball rolls out of bounds. So throw it on the far side of the field for the Mariners from their own 20. Hutchinson over to take the throw in. No score in this one, fourth minute. High looping throw in near midfield. Flick on across midfield by Dove, but he put it out of bounds. So a throw into the midfield line for the Rhinos. To be taken by Sedgwick. Takes a look around. Sedgwick looking for the opening. Goes short on the throw into Woolfolk. Right back to Sedgwick. Now one chip up the left wing side. Down inside the 18. The far end of the box, however, didn't reach it. But it does roll out over the end line, so it's a goal kick for the Mariners. Fifth minute and no score. And the ball will be kicked away by the keeper, Matt Nelson, 26-year-old from Tampa Bay at 6 foot, 180 pounds. Out on the near wing, ahead for Knott as he's watched by Kirk Wilson. Drops it back in the middle for Morelli. Roller ahead, but that one's sneaking by Shack, taken back by the Rhinos, pass to Woolfolk. Knocked away, stepping up in the center circle. Allnet to his left, Delgado chips it ahead. One big bounce down to the 18, and out to grab it on the hop is Nelson. Throws it off on the near side, and away come the Mariners. Off the left wing, but blocked away momentarily by Aguilera. Getting it right back is Knott, and he'll then hammer it all the way downfield inside the Rhino 18. Rolling ball is stopped there by Johnson. Turns it to the outside, up the left wing, and brought ahead by Sedgwick. Dribbling it up the left wing to his 35, drops it back in the middle around his 25 to Demon. Turns it to the outside of the near wing, and Mendez along the near touch line. Rolls it back in the middle. It's taken by Wright, so the Rhinos begin to go side to side. Wright turning from left to right, back to his left. Drops it back around his 25 to Craig Demon. Tries to roll it to the outside and does to Mendez along the near wing. High looping pass across midfield. Carrieri into the ball as he's blocked off the ball by Morelli. It's out of bounds. Throw it on the near side for the Rhinos. That from the Virginia Beach 35 or 40 on the near side of the field. Mendez to take the throw in. Carlos Mendez backs up. Goes along the right wing, deep to the corner. That one knotted down inside the 18 and second hop. It's grabbed by Nelson, the keeper. Woolfolk was on the doorstep. Nelson throws it out the far end of the box. Ahead for Hutchinson. And here come the Mariners. Ahead for Amani Dove. Turns it upfield. Looking back toward the middle. Giving it back to Billick. He'll drop it all the way back to his 25 in the middle for Dan Buskey. Rolls it ahead for Billick. To the outside of the right wing for Hutchinson. Looks downfield and a long delivery downfield. Dove trying to get into the ball. Dimon runs into him. And the ball rolling out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts all season include Spinning Webs, the official website provider of the Rhinos. Connolly Printing, 108 years of experience. Gallo and Yakovangelo, a full-service law firm. And Best Volvo at 1500 University Avenue. 7th minute from Virginia Beach, and scoreless between the Rhinos and the Mariners. Goal kick from Johnson through midfield. Allnut pushed over, but no call, and the ball out of the midfield line is picked up by the Mariners. Roller across midfield, Garcia. One touch dropping it back for Dove, and running into him is Aguilera, who has the ball on his feet, plays it back inside of his 18 to Soren Johnson. Rhino keeper takes the ball, looks downfield, goes to the outside up the near wing for Mendez, being pressured by Finger, turns to the outside, rolls it up the near wing for Kirk Wilson, turned it back in the middle, but no help on the backside, and Billick picks it up for the Mariners. From side to side, Wilson on in. Turns back along the near side, spins along the near touchline, sneaks the ball through. That is picked up and chipped on the left wing by Shack. Back goes Mendez to hit it away on the near side for Aguilera. As he's double teamed, it comes loose in the middle. Still no call. Yes, the foul was called. So a free kick for the Rhinos, 35 yards out, a little bit to the right of center. Referee for this game, Joe Carocchio. And the linesmen, Scott Johnson and Ben Hitchak. And the fourth official is Clive Edwards. All right, to take the kick on the restart is Dave Wright, the defender for the Rhinos. Through the midfield line on the left wing side to Billy Sedgwick. As he's watched by Dove, turns to his left, now midfield. He'll send one along the left wing side, rolling deep to the end line. Carrieri getting to it. Plays it along the far line, then he's dumped, but no call. Then the ball blocked away and out of bounds by Carrieri. So it'll be a throw-in on the far side of the field for the Mariners from their own 18. To be taken by the defender, Russell Hutchinson, who's 6'2", 190 pounds, a 25-year-old from Lynchburg, Virginia. On the far wing, but headed away by Sedgwick. Coming back for the ball is Carrieri as he gets a push, and the foul is called. Restart for the Mariners, for the Rhinos from the Mariner 35 off on the left wing side. 9th minute and no score from Virginia Beach. On the restart, done too quickly. The ref says to Aguilera, no, back up a little bit and do it again. They'll have the restart. Rhinos lining up along the 18. Getting some size up into the mix. Wright and Demon are both up along the 18. As Kirk Wilson places the ball, pulls it back almost to the same spot. Aguilera watching on. And the ref pointing, the Rhino players are pointing, everybody's pointing some direction. Kirk Wilson gives it off Aguilera, but rolled off his foot, tried to tip it back in the middle for Wilson. However, intercepted by Garcia. That's knocked away, and Dove with a pass to Garcia. The Mariners have the ball. On pass downfield, that's through everybody all the way down. And coming outside of his 18 is Johnson. Rolls it off on the near wing, where it's taken by Mendez. Off the right side, approaching midfield. Mendez takes a look around. On the midfield line for all, net checking back for the ball. Still being challenged. Plays it away off a leg, but Finger knocks it down, and the ball is taken by the Mariners. Rolled to the outside of the left wing. Shack moving in. Long cross through the 18. That one flicked outside the box by Sedgwick. Then chipped in the middle, and it's picked up along his 6-yard line by the keeper, Soren Johnson. So the Rhino keeper has the ball. 10th minute now and no score from Virginia Beach. Thrown out on the far wing by Johnson up the left wing. Here comes Sedgwick. Pass back toward the middle. Aguilera will volley it ahead, but Delgado run over from behind, and a foul is called, so the Rhinos will have a restart of the midfield line. Quickly up the left side, ahead Delgado pass through. Woolfolk at the far end of the box. Dan Buskey on him, ball to the end line, crossing foot off the leg of Dan Buskey and out over the end line, and a corner kick for the Rhinos. First corner of the match. Going to the Rhinos, it'll be taken off the left wing side, and it'll be Aguilera. Hato Aguilera over to take the corner kick. 11th minute and no score. Aguilera, the former Mariner, had a goal in his last game against the Rhinos. The only goal in the last game, which was the game's first goal, the game-winning goal, obviously. Here's the play. Down in front. Headed away out of the box. And getting to it is Delgado. 20 yards out. Turns back toward the middle. Chips it to the near side. That one flicked away out of the box on the near side again. Wilson after it. As it is chased down and then carried up the left wing by Morelli and across midfield. Long run all the way down to the Rhino 30. Turns it to the outside of Mendez. Steps in between he and the ball. As the ball rolls to the corner. Still blocked in the corner. Stepping on it. Morelli goes down and Mendez comes away with the ball. From behind, being challenged, but able to kick it forward over into the chest of Shaq as he's in a collision with Delgado, or rather Pato, and the ball knocked down. Taken in the middle by Garcia. Turns along the 30. Rolls it out to the outside of the far wing for Lamani Dove. Bringing it forward. Being chased there by Delgado. Down deep to the far corner. Dove still bothered in. The ball is out of bounds. And off of Lamani Dove, and a throw in for the Mariners. Throw in off the right wing side. Back to the 30 where it's Stabilik. Plays it to the outside, being watched by Aguilera. Rolls it along the 18 in front, turning around Finger. A rolling ball in, is scooped up off the line by Johnson. And the Rhino keeper settles it down. Moves the players away. 12th minute, no score. Player down on the field, and Johnson throws the ball out of bounds. I think that's Finger who just took the shot, got spun around and went down, might have twisted a leg. He's up on one knee. So no score here in the 13th minute. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Total Wireless Now, communication without limitations. Hollywood Tans, the official tanning provider of the Rhinestones. Salvatore's Pizza, the families from Rochester and proud of it. Also brought to you by the Caledonia Country Club, open to the public Mondays and Tuesdays. All right, so we'll have the restart. As Finger is up and all right. He stays on the pitch. The ball is chipped out through midfield. Down to the 35. Flick on by Allnut, but behind Carrieri. And the ball knocked loose back to the center circle. Settled there by Aguilera. Up the right side, but stepping in to intercept is not. And the ball recovered by the Mariners. Billick drops it back. That is 18. Hutchinson on the right wing side, beginning to move forward. Long downfield. And the ball floating. And it'll roll and finally out of bounds down around the Rhino 20. So a throw in for the Rhinos. Back around their own 20 on the far side of the field. No score in this one from Virginia Beach. The Rhinos do have available for substitution in this game today. The players on the bench, Ryan Trout, Doug Miller, Neto, Lennon Steenkamp, John Wilson, and Carlos Almeida. Ball along the 18 in front. Back is Allnut, and with the left foot is able to jam it away and out of bounds. However, no help there as it's off of Allnut and out, so a throw-in for the Mariners. Back around the Rhino 35 on the far side. Here's the throw into Washington. Heads it into the middle. Shaq takes it, rolls it to the outside of the near wing, and moving up the play is not. On the left wing, chips it down inside the 18. Up goes Dillman to head it away. Shaq settles the ball, tried to take a crack, and with the left foot puts it way up over top of everything. And also wide to the left. So shot was taken, however, way high and wide. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. The Mariners coming in having lost the last two. 2-2-0 record in the last four. A 2-3-1 record in the last six. However, you look at the home turf, has been very friendly of late, where the Mariners have won the last four. And they play three straight on home field. So the Mariners looking to continue the strong domination at home. Cedric chips it up the left side. Aguilera hammers it high in the air. Floater through midfield. Comes out of the near wing. Finger back for it on Eamonskirk Wilson. As they bump and the ball rolls out of bounds. Throw in for the Mariners from their own 20 on the near side. On the near wing to Finger. Short throw in. Back to Knott up in the air and headed toward the middle by Mendez as the Rhinos recover the ball. Checking back is Carrieri. To Allnut, place it to the outside. Mendez in the middle for Aguilera. Out the right side, but it's over top of Wilson and out of bounds. Doesn't get to it, and a throw in on the near side for the Mariners from their own 25. And here's a high throw in. Back is Mendez to head it forward. Over, that's volleyed away by Billick in the middle for Washington. Spinning around, knocked away by Wilson. Comes to the outside and out of bounds. Throw in for the Mariners on the near side of the field. Near midfield, not up for the throw in. Cross midfield, Garcia touching it back to Washington. Lost it, and Allnut volleys it through midfield. However, headed away again by the Mariners off of the near wing. On service downfield, Finger after it. Devin will win the race. However, he blocks off Finger, and out to pick up the rolling ball is Johnson. So the Rhino keeper with the ball. 16th minute and scoreless from Virginia Beach. Johnson drops the ball outside of his 18. Waits for the players to move away. And with the right foot, will hammer it away and downfield. All not up. However, Shack hits it back into the midfield circle, and the foul was called on Steve Shack as he was up the back of Yari Allnut. So a restart for the Rhinos, 40 yards out, a little bit to the right of center. Aguilera placing the ball. And likely will take the kick as the Rhinos again move size up into the mix. As they line up along the 18. Well, Demon's back at the center circle. Wright has moved up into the 18. Here's the service to the left side of the box, but no help there. One bounces out over the end line. Goal kick for the Mariners. 17th minute, no score. 2 shots so far for the Mariners, and they have not credited any shots for the Rhinos. Remember, I had them for 1. Across midfield. Getting back to Mariners side of midfield. Washington checking back for the ball. Knocked loose at the midfield line. Hutchinson to the outside for Dove, and Yielding cleared downfield. Back goes White, beginning to it is Garcia on the right wing down to the 20. To the 18. Long cross in front, and that one floating over top of Johnson. Rolling ball to the corner, and is out of bounds. Throw in deep in the corner, about a yard out on the near side of the field for Kirk Wilson. Walks forward a few yards and drops it back for Mendez, who move in for the throw-in. Mendez long up the right wing side. Allnut is bumped and sent flying, and as he's sandwiched. However, no foul is called, and it'll be a throw-in on the near side now for the Mariners. Bellick right back to the outside for Knott. Pops up in the air, but Kirk Wilson gets a foot on it. Coming back, Gary, but Knott steals it away. And Shack along the 35 drops it back in the middle, all the way to the center circle, and Hutchinson up the right side for Garcia. It's turned by Demon. Backheel along the far wing for Romani Dove. As he's wide, Sedgwick tips it out of bounds. Throw in on the far side for the Mariners. 18th minute, no score. Between the Rhinos and the Mariners, and a throw-in. From the Rhino 30 on the far side, here's the throw-in inside the 18, but Allnut is there to hit it away and out of the box. Aguilera, first time to the head, up to near midfield, recovered by the Mariners in the center circle. Stepping up, Denbusky, long chip up the left wing side. Mendez after it, Finger heads it in the middle, and out to pick it up on the hop is the keeper, Johnson. Fans were yelling his right, getting tied up with Dante Washington. And they wanted a foul call. Washington leading the Mariners in points this year, and in fact second in the league with 22 points, also second in the league with 9 goals. Having an excellent year, Dante Washington. Out the left wing side into Rhino territory, and that one gets away from Finger, rolls out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Mendez from his own 25 drops it back in the middle, and Wright will then send it downfield. Carrieri trying to get by. Denbusky is the ball knocked away by Denbusky on the near wing. Morelli pass in the middle, and stepping up to chip it away and downfield is Hutchinson. Long ball in. Demon is back in a foot race with Garcia. Demon as it rolls off his foot in the zone, and then kicked out over the near touchline by Johnson. Johnson covering up as Garcia showing speed. He's got some pretty good wheels. Carlos Garcia Dominguez, 23-year-old from Cali, Colombia. At 5'9", 174 pounds. So in the near corner. Off the left side, Washington with a throw-in. Alano on the 18, but right to Aguilera, and the Rhinos take it back. Pass up the near wing for Carrieri, checking back, and then he's run over from behind, and we'll see the plastic come out as Morelli will draw the plastic here in the 20th minute. Morelli, the yellow card. So that's the first plastic of the night, and the restart for the Rhinos from their own 40 off on the right wing side. Still scoreless from Virginia Beach.
20th minute of play, number 22, Joe Morelli. Morelli with the yellow for Virginia Beach.
All right, restart for the Rhinos. Wright takes a look downfield. Rhinos traveling down the road to Richmond to meet the Kickers tomorrow evening. And we'll be on the air with you tomorrow night from the University of Richmond Stadium. A broadcast beginning with pregame show at 6:30. All back out of bounds on the near side, off of the Rhinos, so a throw in near midfield on the near side for the Mariners. Billick's going to leave it there, and moving up for the throw in will be Kevin Knott. Cross midfield on the throw into Washington. In the chest, and then he's double teamed. The ball knocked away, but picked up again by Knott at midfield. Into the middle for Garcia, drawing it forward. Ahead for Shack. Drops it back. Garcia through ball to Washington. And the ball is scooped up on the roll by Johnson. Out to around his 8. Diving in on the ball before Washington could get through it. Nice ball slotted through by Garcia. On kick downfield by Johnson. All the way to the 30, but that's headed back through the center circle. Dove underneath it. Nodding it forward to Washington. Pass through in the middle, moving in Garcia. Now the 18 takes a rolling shot in. Diving to his left. Johnson knocks it away. Johnson getting the left hand on the rolling ball, able to tip it wide. And it's carried up the far wing out near midfield by the Rhinos. Ahead for Aguilera. Turn to the outside again. As he's watched the ball knocked away and out of bounds. That off of Aguilera, so a throw in for the Mariners. Nice save by Soren Johnson. Throw in. Back to the 20. And the Mariners have the ball. Right away up the right wing side. To the midfield and chip through midfield. Getting to it on that heads it in the air. Back of the midfield line. Underneath it Aguilera, but moving in is Wilson. The ball knocked away. Through the center circle, pulled out on the near wing. Billick is bumped by Carrieri, who pulls the ball away. However, the foul is called on Carrieri. So it'll be a restart for the Mariners at the midfield line. Morelli coming over, having a few words to say for the referee. Probably wanting some plastic on that one, but doesn't get it. All right, Billick at the midfield line, set for the restart. Rolls it ahead on the left wing side. Garcia getting to it. Turned away. Sliding in on the ball is Mendez and knock it away and out of bounds near midfield on the near side. So a throw in for the Mariners. 23rd minute and scoreless. And the throw in by Morelli. Flick on by Fenger. Up in the air Garcia along with Mendez as they bump. The ball comes down around the 35. Fenger crossing. Off on the right wing side. Hutchinson chips it ahead, but still being eccentric to knock it away. And keeps it in play. And a pass out is Delgado. Sends it through midfield to Woolfolk in the center circle. Drops it off. Aguilera. Long chip on the left side. Carrieri trying to get to it as he and Morel go to the far corner. Morelli on Carrieri, who turns inside, comes away with the ball in the corner, turns back, and it is off of Carrieri and out of bounds. Hit the flag and went out over the touchline. So Morelli and Carrieri mixing it up again. And the referee over to talk to Morelli. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw in deep in the far corner for the Mariners.
Currently going on sale at the Mariners ticket office.
Hutchinson will take the throw in.
For Tuesday night.
24th minute, no score.
Once again, if you're interested in purchasing $10 tickets, general admission.
And here's the throw in on the far touchline. Flick back toward midfield, chased down by Aguilera. Rolls it through, crossing to the outside on the right wing, and after goes Mendez, getting to it just barely as he slides into the ball, able to keep it in play, and then it rolls down deep in the corner. Chipped away on the near side. Fenger heads it back, and Knott pops it up in the air. Stepping in underneath it. Quick toward the middle by Billick for Garcia. And on him is right. The ball deflected through on the far side. Delgado with it. Turning along the 35 and drops it back to Walnut. As he's challenged, lays it to the outside. The left wing for Sedgwick. First time today, head far into the box. After it is Woolfolk underneath it. At the far end of the 18. Looks long in front. Tried to sneak it through. Shack coming back. And the ball blocked to the end line. And getting to it is Shack. Keeps it in play. Then puts it away off the leg of Woolfolk out over the end line. So it'll be a goal kick for the Mariners. 25th minute. And scoreless from Virginia Beach. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Chase Pitkin, with a lifetime tool warranty for all tools purchased at Chase Pitkin. By Kimberly Clark, a proud sponsor of the Rhinos. Westmont Apartments, studio 1 and 2 bedroom apartments in Gates. And also brought to you by Auto Depot USA, online at AutoDepotDirect.com. Mariners have the ball, bring it forward. Dan Buskey turned to the outside by Woolfolk. Pass ahead across midfield for Washington. Looking to tip the ball through in behind. Garcia inside the 18. Takes a shot. Sliding into block it away is Wright. Big save. Cross and Wright blocks it away. Outstanding play by David Wright as Garcia had the ball for the shot down around 15 yards out. It is up the left wing side. Ahead Sedgwick to Delgado and across midfield. Here come the Rhinos sneaking through in front. Delgado on the attack. Through ball. Carrieri trying to reach it. Sliding out to grab it. Here's the keeper, Nelson. Wow. End-to-end action right now as the Mariners play it through midfield. Turn to the outside on the near wing, and it rolls out of bounds. So the Rhinos giving up some opportunities to the Mariners. As that speed up front, the speed of Washington and Garcia, very evident, as they are doing a great job of through balls. Mendez able to chip it through midfield. Off of the near wing, touched forward by Morelli, and it is going to be run over by Aguilera. Foul is called and a free kick for the Mariners at the near side of the field. Right along the midfield line. 26th minute in scoreless. Billick looks for the free kick. Head chip to the head of the left wing side. Back for it, Fenger. As he's watched closely by Mendez. Draws it out on the near side. Back to the 35 knot near midfield for Billick. And a pass forward to Garcia. Turns to the outside. Garcia up with the ball. They're going to sneak it through. Touch in the middle. Mendez steps in the way. And the ball is knocked down. The Rhinos have it. Hit for Kirk Wilson. Roller out to midfield for Carrier. He stumbled. Goes down. Gets it back. To the outside of the near wing once again for Mendez. Long is 25 in the middle for David Wright. Who brings it upfield. Wright will and chip it up the right side. Woolfolk trying to get to it as he and Morelli race for the ball. Deep in the corner, Morelli sent flying by Woolfolk, and the foul is called. Free kick for the Mariners from their own 15. Around, they'll move it outside the 18 on the near side of the field. The Mariners have done well in goal scoring in that department this year. As we see in the scoring department, they are 5th in the league, having scored 24 goals so far this year. But if there's a downfall, it's the defense. They're 13th in the league, having allowed 27. Ball down is flicked inside the 18. One hopper to the keeper. Johnson off the head of David Wright. Played a very strong game thus far on defense for the Rhinos. Johnson rolls it ahead outside the 18. 28th minute and no score from Virginia Beach. Delivered through midfield. As that's a flick on by Allnut on the near side. Rhinos can't get to it. Played out to near midfield. Stepping up is Mendez and a pass ahead for Woolfolk. Drops it back for Kirk Wilson. Chipped it up the right side, overlapping Mendez, but won't get to it. That comes loose. 25 yards out. Woolfolk in the middle. Through ball. Carrieri reaching for it. Couldn't get the foot on it. However, he is in offside anyway. So the flag is in the air. The whistle is blown and a free kick for the Mariners. Nelson, the keeper, rolls it to the outside of the right wing. Brought ahead by the Mariners. Out across the midfield line for Dove. One touch in the middle for Shack. And a feed ahead for Washington. Sliding in to knock it loose momentarily, Denman, but Washington gets it right back. As he'll drip it through to the 18. Rolling ball in, moving in Washington. Sliding in to block it away is Johnson. The ball on top is played ahead by Wright. Or Aguilera moving upfield. And again, Johnson coming out to do the job. It is Carrieri through ball ahead. Trying to get back down. Buskey does. Plays it back to the keeper. And it is Nelson to go along up the right side for Dove. Floats over him back at the midfield line. Where's taken by Sedgwick. His pass ahead for Delgado. Turns to the outside. Still has it. Then off the leg of the Mariner player and out of bounds. So another great sliding save by Soren Johnson. There's the throw in. There's the fourth official who's over to talk to the Virginia Beach coach who's out on the field yelling, I think, at the referee. Mendez, long chip up the right side for Woolfolk. As he comes back, drops it off and turns. Still spinning around. Has it, lays it to the outside of the near wing for Mendez, 30 yards out. Knocks it toward the middle. Aguilera back to the outside for Mendez. Turns back along midfield. Now sneaks a pass through to Woolfolk as he's bumped off the ball. It's Fenger, and the Mariners take it back to the outside again for Fenger. Stepping in, Wilson knocks it down. Had the ball bouncing loose. Finally, Aguilera turns it in the middle. After Delgado stepping in, sneaking through. As he turns it to 20, back to his right. Takes a shot. He rolling ball. It's wide left. Trying to go for the lower corner on the left side and puts it a couple of feet wide of the post. So the Rhinos getting a shot away. And it'll be a goal kick for the Mariners. Now the ball brought away up the right wing side by Dove to midfield. Cross through, headed away by Allnut out the near side. Rolling ball out of bounds. Throw in the midfield line for the Mariners. Kevin Knott to take the throw in. 30th minute and scoreless here at Virginia Beach between the Mariners and the Rhinos. Ball out of bounds on the near side off of Fingers, so a throw in for the Rhinos from their own 35 on the near side.
The Virginia Beach Mariners would like to thank our team orthopedic surgeons.
Wilson
Pat O'Connell
is going to leave it there for the throw in to be taken by Carlos Mendez.
With offices in Virginia Beach and Norfolk.
His pass in the middle, taken by Wilson to the center circle for Allnut. Turns back, drops it off at his 35 in the middle. Demon brings it ahead. Demon looking around to the circle, sneaks the ball through to Delgado. Untouched, but up in the air off of Allnut, then knocked away by Demon. The Rhinos still have the ball. Off on the left wing side. Sedgwick now sends it through midfield. Into the chest of Woolfolk. Lays it out. Wilson long on the left wing side. Into the ball is Carrieri. As he's dumped in the box. No whistle. The ball taken and thrown upfield by the keeper, Nelson. Checking back, Shack drops it to the outside. Head to midfield. And the ball is out of bounds at midfield. On the far side. So Carrieri sent flying inside the 18, but does not get the call. Sedgwick for the throw-in. There's another ball on the field, so he has to wait till that one's put out of the way. Takes a look ahead with the run at midfield. Long up the left wing side for Woolfolk as he turns in behind Dembuski. And the ball knocked away. Recovered by the Mariners. To the outside, Hutchinson. One chip across midfield. In the middle for Washington. Flick on in the middle. Rolling ball to the 18. Demon is back and gets to it as he turns the ball into the corner. Garcia on him, and Demon has no room but to chip it out of bounds. Throwing deep in the far corner for the Mariners. Excellent offensive pressure applied by Virginia Beach all game long so far. Pass toward the middle for Shack. First to the middle, but Woolfolk is there, and then he'll send it out through midfield. Turning back Morelli down to his own 35. Rolls it off in the middle, or is picked up by Dembuski. With the right foot, long pass up the near side. Fenger flicks it back to the corner, but no help there, and the ball is out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos on the near side from their own 15-yard line. As Mendez to take the throw in. Looks downfield at a high looping throw in on the near side. Headed up in the air. Carrieri underneath him, but the ball knocked him down, and that's off of Billick and out of bounds. So a throw in on the near side of the field for the Rhinos from this time around their own 45. 33rd minute, no score. Throw in short to Carrieri, and it got away from him, out of bounds. Throw in near midfield on the near side for the Mariners. Knocked with the throw into Morelli. Crossing along his 35 on the far side to Hutchinson. Draws it out across midfield for Romani Dove. One touch back to Hutchinson. Off the wing for Garcia. Another give and go. Hutchinson down, moving in. He's rolling shot off the arm of Johnson and just wide of the left post. That off the left arm of Johnson and wide a foot up outside the post. Rolling ball might have taken a hop and fooled Johnson a little bit, but he did get the arm on it to knock it wide. So a corner kick for the Mariners.
All right, Mariners.
This off of the right wing side to be taken by Garcia. Right-footed kicker, so an out-swinging kick. Garcia lines it up, low in the box, and it was sneaking through, and out to grab it. A one big hop at the 6 is Johnson. So Soren Johnson's been busy so far. Comes up with the ball. He's been very active and looking very good. Excellent. Of course, he's getting more opportunities to look good, I think, than the Rhinos would like to see right now. Ball flicked ahead by Delgado up the wing, and return flick by Woolfolk, but Delgado had stopped the run, and now it's played away by the Mariners. Out of the near wing, Fenger sends it out into the center circle. Blocked away by Wright along the midfield line. He dribbles forward into the circle, up the right side, trying to get the ball through, but knocked away up the center circle again. All nut heads it forward, stepping in underneath it is Shack. At the midfield line, pass ahead, but Dimon gets to it to knock it away. On the left wing side, brought forward by Sedgwick. Pass ahead for Delgado. Turns through the middle, pass along the 35, out on the near side for Mendez. Looks at the near side, 35th minute from Virginia Beach, and no score. Ahead for Kirk Wilson, through to Carrieri. On 40 yards out, back in the middle circle for Allnut. Turns to the outside of the left wing for Sedgwick. He'll draw back, cross midfield to Delgado. Steps over the ball, spins around, still has it. Delgado crossing to the outside of the right wing, once again for Mendez. Brings it up the right wing, pass in the middle for Kirk Wilson. Give and go, chipped up the right side. Mendez heads it forward, near into the box. Woolfolk pushed, up in it, gets away, spins it behind, onto the end line. Woolfolk still the ball to the outside. Mendez chipped down in front to the backdoor side for Carrieri. And the ball skips through as he couldn't get a shot away. He goes down, and the ball kept into the far touch line by Carrieri. Back up to the 35 Sedgwick with the right foot. Cracks at it, but that went way wide. Out the near end of the 18. No help there for the Rhinos. Throwing along the near side of the field for the Mariners, down around their own
enjoy the Mariners experience.
5-yard line or deep in the corner.
Bud Light. We hope everyone enjoys tonight's match.
There's the throw in from the corner. Right back with Kirk Wilson stepping in. Got away from Wilson off his left foot out of bounds. So a throw in about the same spot, deep in the corner once again for the Mariners. There's the throw in. Stepping up, Mendez heads it, but he gave Fenger a push, so Foul is called and a free kick for the Mariners from their own 18. 36th minute from Virginia Beach and no score. Keeper Nelson will come out to take the kick. Matt Nelson backs up a bit. Takes a look downfield with the right foot. Low line drive kick through midfield. Right stepping up, heads it back across midfield for Woolfolk. In the midfield line, Woolfolk lays it back. Moving across midfield is Kirk Wilson. Tried to chip it ahead, but blocked aside by Billick and recovered by the Mariners. Pass in the middle for Shack. Sneaks it to the outside, but stepping in the way is Aguilar. He'll cross along the 40. On the far side, Delgado drawing it forward. Sneaking through, turns to the outside, but sliding in to knock it away is Hutchinson. And the ball is sent through midfield. Demon is back. Garcia on him. As the ball rolls to the far corner, Garcia after it. And did he keep it in? Evidently did keep it in. Pass toward the middle on the 25 for Washington. Takes a look around. His pass to the outside, the far end of the box. Garcia in front, knocked down, and the ball up in the air. Whistle is blown. The ball was knocked down with a hand. And ball is the penalty kick being awarded. The referee looking at the linesman on the far side of the field. The referee is pointing at the penalty kick dot. And evidently it will be a penalty kick awarded to the Mariners here in the 37th minute. A handball. 37th minute. As the ball is placed, and Dove will take the penalty kick. So a penalty kick is awarded on the handball to the Mariners. Johnson, his heels on the line. Dove, a right-footed kicker, takes a look, and we're set for the penalty kick to be taken by Amani Dove. Moves in a step, takes a shot. Rolling body scores. Johnson diving to his left. Amani Dove puts it inside the left post. And so the Mariners have scored on the PK. Well, it's 1-0 Virginia Beach. And that again scored in the 38th minute. The penalty kick awarded for the handball, and the Mariners take a 1-0 lead. And as I have it, the Mariners out shooting Rochester in this one 6-2 thus far, and Mariners have had plenty of opportunities. Johnson has saved the Rhinos' bacon to this point. However, on the penalty kick could not stop Amani Dove. All right, so here we go, the kickoff, and it is the Rhinos bringing the ball forward.
By number 21, Hamisi Amani Dove. Amani Dove's penalty kick goal scored by the Mariners.
All right, so it's 1-0 the Mariners cross midfield, and the ball knocked away. Out along the 40, pass hit, Aguilar for Carrier. He's spinning to his left, trying to get through, and a slide into the ball. The ball knocked away, and a foul is called on the Rhinos. Wow. Carrier gets up and has a few words for the referee about that one. So the free kick for the Mariners from their own 35, played out of the near wing for Knott. Skips away off his left foot, turning back Kirk Wilson. Pass toward the middle, and getting to it is Billick. Turns it to the outside of the near wing. Wilson chasing him. Knocked it away, and the foul is called on Kirk Wilson. So restart for the Mariners. Wilson leading the Rhinos in fouls this year. In fact, coming into tonight, 6th in the league with 41 fouls. Ball ahead, Washington takes a shot in, but he puts it up over top of the crossbar. Had plenty of zip on the ball, but it was about a foot high over top of the crossbar. So again, the Mariners continue to get their opportunities. The 40th minute, and the Mariners with a 1-0 lead.
Just visit Sol de Mexico on the main concourse level.
Johnson sending the ball. That is 6. With the right foot, will chip it out through midfield. That one flicked on by Allman in the middle, ever turning back. Dan Buskey rolls it ahead for Shack. His pass out, stepping in, is Allman to knock it away, deflected on the far side and out. However, foul is called on the Rhinos, and so it'll be a free kick for the Mariners from just to their own side of midfield. Billick will take the free kick. Drops it back. Dan Buskey rolls it ahead. With the right foot, sends it up the near wing. Garcia stepping in as he spins to get away from right. Now takes a shot in, knocked down by Johnson, and he'll pick it up on the first hop. Another strong shot in by Garcia, and a diving save by Johnson. Soren Johnson rolls it outside the 18. With the right foot. He'll chip it out through midfield. Has Allnut able to flick it forward, but not right to Morelli, who then volleys it through midfield into Rhino territory. Demon heads that one way up in the air. Allnut checking back for the ball. Hits it all the way down inside of his 18, where it's taken by Johnson. Rhino keeper with the ball. Rolls it ahead outside the box. 41st minute and a 1-0 lead for the Mariners. With the right foot, will chip it out through midfield. Hey, up in the air they go with the 35. Allnut knocked down, but no call. The ball then volleyed high in the air through midfield again. And 2 bounces is down inside the Rhino 18. Johnson grabs it, rolls it ahead, right. Turns upfield out to his 35. In the middle, looks downfield, turns back again, and plays it back to the keeper. So Johnson has the ball. Rolls it ahead outside the 18. Waiting for some movement of the players. Rolls it ahead further. Now with the right foot, we'll send the line drive kick downfield, coming down at the Mariner 35. Headed to the outside underneath an Allnut. Knocks it down, brought forward by Wilson. Turned to the outside, and then it's chipped away off of the near wing. Mendez nods it back in the middle for Aguilera. As he turns to the outside, circling back in front. Gives it off to Sedgwick. Moving across midfield and up the left wing for Carrieri. One touch ahead, Delgado in the middle. Gets tied up and gets away with the ball steal. Turns it to the outside, Sedgwick checking back. As he's turned to the outside, dove on him. Far touch line and got away from him out of bounds. Throw in on the far side of the field for the Mariners from their own 30. Throwing off the right wing side, 42nd minute. And the 1-0 lead for the Mariners. Right back in the middle where Billick takes the ball and then he rolls it down into the keeper. Nelson first times it in the air. High floating ball coming down to the Rhino 40. And Wright is able to head it back through midfield. Stepping up Billick. Volleys it forward. Wright nods it to the outside and Sedgwick. First times it through midfield for Kirk Wilson. Tips it ahead. Trying to get loose. Carrieri outside the 18. Nelson gets to it, wins the race. And he'll just kick it out of bounds on the near side. So Carrieri almost able to get through. Here is Mendez on the near side, throwing out in near midfield to Aguilera. As he's grabbed onto and taken down by Fenger. So the foul is called, and the Rhinos have a free kick off the near side from 35 yards out. 43rd minute. 1-0 in favor of the Mariners, having scored on the penalty kick back in the 38th minute. Aguilera will set the ball, and he'll serve it up. As the Rhinos trying to get back in this one. Aguilera chips it ahead and back heel by Allnut in the middle. A ball knocked down and moving in. Wilson turns to his left, sneaks into the outside, but the pass is then intercepted and chipped out into the center circle for Washington. Coming back, Wright knocks it down, hits the ball off of the hand of Washington, and so a handball, and it'll be a free kick near midfield for the Rhinos. Johnson having a few words with Garcia, who looked like he wanted to continue on and score even though the whistle had blown. All right, so the restart of the center circle. Just over a minute or so to go here in the first half. Pass ahead, flick on by Allnut, down inside the box, but grabbed the one hop off the 6 by the keeper, Nelson. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Blueberry Hill, upscale apartment living, a Faber community. Marina Dodge, 943 Ridge Road in Webster. By the Soccer Report, Tuesday evenings at 6:30 on WYSL 1040 AM. Nelson kicks it out through midfield. Wright is there to head it back into the center circle. However, Billick chips it up the left wing side, and the rolling ball will finally roll out of bounds deep in the corner. So the Rhinos have a throw-in on the near side from around their own 18. Mendez on the near side, throw into Aguilera. He'll pop it up in the air and on the near side. All pushed forward to Garcia. Rolling, trying to sneak it through to Washington. As he and Demon tie up, Washington goes down, and Demon has the ball. At the right foot, sends it out near midfield for Woolfolk. Spinning around, drops it off. Aguilera chips it ahead. Trying to get underneath the Carrieri, bothering Morelli, who is able to play it back to his keeper. Taken into 6 by Nelson with the left foot. Sends it up the near wing. In underneath it, Wilson for the Rhinos. Drops it off Aguilera. Heads it back to midfield for Mendez. Turning, trying to get away from Garcia. Up back and plays it all the way back to his keeper. Johnson first times it, pops it up in the air, coming down to the midfield line. 1 minute of additional time as the clock runs out at 45. So 1 minute of stoppage time. Aguilera has it at the midfield line. Pass toward the center circle for Allnut, drawing it forward. Chips it ahead. Up the left side is Delgado. Is being watched by Hutchinson. Moving in on the play is Sedgwick. Ball tipped ahead, far into the box. Sedgwick turns, moving in, tipped it along in front, and the ball popped up in the air and is out over the end line. Corner kick for the Rhinos. Sedgwick, nifty move, getting all the way down inside the 6, tried to pass back in front, but the ball knocked away and out by the Mariners. Throwing off the corner kick off the left wing side to be taken by Aguilera. Otto, the right-footed kicker, an in-swinging kick. And here comes the service into the box. That through, but out. Knocked down at the 18. Wilson trying to settle the ball. Turns, fakes it, drops it to the outside. Shot by, that was Kirk Wilson taking the shot. And the ball deflected away and out of bounds. The one who played it back to him was Delgado, who comes up limping. Ball out of bounds on the near side and a throw in off the right wing. 5 yards out for Mendez and the Rhinos. Delgado still hobbling at the 18. As Mendez backs up, and here's the throw in. In the box, but hit it away and out, and there's the whistle to win the first half of play.
That is the end of the first half of play.
So there was one goal scored in the first half, and that was by the Mariners.
The Mariners won.
As the Rhinos get caught in a handball, and the Mariners take advantage of it. Now we have Dante Washington over talking to the referee and having a few words. Everybody pleading their case about how come there's not been enough calls for their team. That won't get anywhere. All right, so we've played a half here in Virginia Beach through one half of play. It's the Mariners 1, the Rhinos nothing. And this is the Raging Rhinos Radio Network.
So this is a must-see.
Underway now in the second half of play tonight from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Send the ball out over the end line. Actually, a foul is called on Carrieri, so it'll be a restart, a free kick for the Mariners. And the keeper, Nelson, out to take the kick off the left wing side around his own 15. The Rhinos trailing 1-0 as the Mariners scored on a penalty kick back in the first half. And the ball is flighted through midfield. That's flicked on by Washington, down through it inside the far end of the 18, and Mendez will turn it to the outside. Puts it away, but off the leg of finger, bounces back in front, and out to scoop up the ball is Johnson. Rhino keeper with the ball, moves the players away, dribbles out, rolls it ahead outside the 18 now as we're just getting underway in the second half of play. Rhinos will see a couple of players getting up to warm up, as Neto is there, and Ryan Trout also, and Doug Miller up to warm up. So the ball now brought away by the Mariners, chipped out through midfield, and chased down in his own end by Wright. Turns back, watched by Washington, turns to the outside to get away. He'll send a low kick out to the center circle for Aguilera. Dropping it back, moving up his all net across midfield, and a pass ahead for Wilson. Into the center circle, drops it off. Pato, run over from behind, but don't call. Yes, there is a call. The whistle blows. Foul is on Garcia, and a free kick for the Rhinos. That in the center circle. 48th minute. And a 1-0 lead for the Mariners. Virginia Beach having taken the lead on a penalty kick goal in the 38th minute. Otto chips it down inside the 18, but it floats over everybody and out over the end line. Goal kick for the Mariners to be taken by the keeper. And that, of course, being Matt Nelson. Nelson, fifth in the league. Coming into tonight with 67 saves. 15 games played on the season. Has seen action previously with the Boston Bulldogs and South Jersey Barons of the USL. Also played Kilkenny City Football Club in Ireland. He was the D3 goalkeeper of the year back in 2000 out of Lynn University. Long up the right wing side into Rhino territory. Pass back in the middle. Shaq, one chip ahead for Garcia. Through the 35, pass in front for Washington. He'll play it to the outside and overlapping on the left wing side. Here's Knott with a cross in front along the 6, comes out the near end. Settled by Dove, moving in front. Wilson, make that Washington, trying to get a shot away. Out to pounce on the ball of his 6 is the keeper, Soren Johnson. So Washington a spin around just outside the 6, couldn't get turned to that to get the shot away. Rhino keeper has the ball, rolls it ahead outside. Pass up the right wing for Mendez, beginning to bring it ahead. Pass into the midfield circle, taken by Allnut. He'll drop it back in the middle for Wright. Draws it forward with the right foot, crossing along the 35 on the near side for Billy Sedgwick. Brings it ahead near midfield. Sedgwick watched on the outside by Monty Dove. Pass to Aguilera, dropping it back to his 30 for Demon. Crossing to the outside of the right flank for Mendez. Underneath the ball, Carlos Mendez, as he's watched, drops it back in the middle to his 25, taken by Wright. With the left foot, low kick through midfield. Woolfolk settling the ball, tipping it back for Pato. Pass to the outside, but checking back to intercept his finger, and the Mariners have the ball. Through ball ahead for Washington, trying to get him behind, couldn't reach it. It sneaks through and rolls down inside the 18 to Johnson. Rolls it ahead outside the 18. 50th minute from Virginia Beach. And a 1-0 lead for the Mariners. Johnson with the right foot. Drives it out through midfield. Allnut trying to get up for the flick on. Can't do it as he's taken down by Morelli, and he's slow getting up. The foul is called. The Rhinos will have the restart. 35 yards out directly in the middle of the field. Otto Aguilera setting the ball. Wilson and Carrieri also there. We'll see who takes the kick. On this restart, the Rhinos trailing by a goal. They'll be traveling down the road to Richmond tomorrow night to take on the Kickers in the pregame show and our broadcast along the network beginning at 6:30 tomorrow night. Wilson step over on the ball. Aguilera chips it down. Here's a head ball in front, but that one is kicked away and out on the near side. Almost sneaking it through to the backdoor side. Aguilera chips it up the left wing, and behind under the ball is Delgado. Deep to the corner, as he keeps it in off the touchline and knocked away and out of bounds off the foot of the defenseman, the defender, Hutchinson. Throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. Billy Sedgwick. Well, he's not going to go to the corner. He's going to back all the way out around the 10 to 12 for the throw-in on the near side. Looping throw-in short to the box, but headed away out top by Garcia. And then he'll just first time it out of the park on the near side. Sedgwick for the throw-in for the Rhinos on the near side. High looping throw-in near to the end of the box. Woolfolk up, couldn't get the flick on. Comes to the end line, and it's picked up off the hop by the keeper, Nelson. So the Mariner keeper with the ball throws it out on the near side for Hutchinson. Pass ahead for Billick, dropping it back to Hutchinson. Checking back for the ball, Amani Dove, and Hutchinson takes it now, chips it ahead into the center circle for Washington. Settles it for Steve Shack, drawing it forward. Through ball, Washington, in behind, down to the 18, chips it, up in the air, and scores! Dante Washington able to chip it over Soren Johnson, who came up. Johnson up in the air, got his fingertips on the ball, but not enough. One bounce back into that, and the Mariners have taken a 2-0 lead. 52nd minute. As Washington scores his team-leading goal. His team-leading 10th goal of the season. He was second in the league in goal scoring coming into tonight. He'll still remain second. But now it's a 2-0 lead for the Mariners.
Second minute of play by number 9, Dante Washington. Washington's goal assisted by number 25, Steve Shack.
So Shack picks up his first point on the assist, and now it's 2-0 in favor of the Mariners. On the near side across midfield, Woolfolk giving it off. Delgado is dumped from behind. And however, a foul is called on the Rhinos, or was the ball out of bounds? Evidently, it was out of bounds on the near side. A throw-in for the Mariners at the midfield line. Long midfield, pushed back on the outside along the near wing and dropped into their own end of the field for Dan Buskey of the Mariners. He'll play it back to the keeper. Nelson first times it, but chips it up in the air, coming out around the 35. Headed back toward midfield. Dove after it. Gives it off Hutchinson up the near wing. Backheel by Garcia. And the Rhinos take it away, and a foul is called on Shack. So a free kick for the Rhinos, their own side of midfield, off on the near side. As the Rhinos look like they'll be sending fresh legs into the game here. Neto, Trout, and Miller all getting ready to check in. Free kick for the Rhinos to their own side of midfield. Rochester now needing a couple to get him back into this game. As Sedgwick will chip it down to the 20. Flick on attempt by Allnut up in the air, but that's knocked away up top. And getting to it, Washington spins away with the ball. Pass in through midfield. Comes out of the near wing and after a dub, but the ball gets away and taken back by the Rhinos. Sedgwick turning back, drops it off. Allnut long up the left wing side. Trying to get to it is Woolfolk, but can't, and the ball rolls deep to the corner. Pass along the 18, and then that's when sent up on the near side, stepping up to push it forward is Sedgwick. In the middle, Aguilera tips it down inside the 18, but out to grab it on the fly is the keeper, Nelson. He'll kick it through midfield. Out of the near wing, Demon underneath it, but Garcia getting to it, keeps it in play along the near wing, and he'll knock it down inside the 18, the near end of the box, where it's taken by Johnson. And the Rhino keeper has the ball. Well, actually, the foul was called back on the near side, so it'll be a free kick for the Mariners. This 15 yards out off the right wing side, and substitutions coming up as Trout is in for Allnut. The substitutions here in the 55th minute. So Trout is in, Allnut is out. And then it's Neto is in.
Substitutions for the Rochester Raging
And Woolfolk is out.
Into the match for the Rhinos, number 10, Ryan Trout. Number 19, Doug Miller. And number 20.
Miller is also in.
Trout, Miller, and Neto replace.
And Neto is out.
Delgado.
And Delgado is out.
Corey Woolfolk. And number 9.
All right, so in the 55th minute, into the match, Trout, Miller, and Neto. And coming out, Allnut, Woolfolk, and Delgado. They scored! Oh, it came out in front. Inside the 18 shot taken by Shack. Inside the right post. On the restart, the Mariners have scored. Goal number 3 and lead 3-0. So Virginia Beach puts a little icing on the cake here in the 56th minute. As I believe it was Shack to get the goal. We'll find out for sure here in a moment. Quick restart. And the Mariners put it away and now lead 3-0.
Mariners goal scored in the 56th minute of play by number 25, Shack.
So Shack getting his first.
Shack's goal assisted by number 17, Carlos Garcia.
And Garcia with the assist. So Shack, his first goal now is a goal and an assist on the night for 3 points. And Garcia, now with an assist, has 5 assists on the season and 11 points for the Mariners. So it's 3-0 in favor of Virginia Beach, which equals the tough game the Rhinos had here a year ago. Out of the near wing and across midfield. Knocked out of bounds by Demon, and the whistle stops play. Garcia down in the field, grabbing onto his right leg. Sure, they'll do a lot of time-wasting ploys right now. So Garcia still rolling around on the ground. And the referee says get the ball in play. Garcia sitting on the pitch, on the field, pouring a little water on his ankles. Or his shins, actually. Gets back up, 58th minute down with a 3-0 lead for the Mariners. Penalty kick in the first half, and then in the 52nd and the 56th minute, adding 2 more.
7th minute of play to number 11, Billy Sedgwick.
Dan Buskey chips it ahead, stepping in, Wright knocks it down, but can't come away. Ball knocked loose, and the Rhinos recover it. Played out on the near wing, and ahead is Trout up the left wing side. Out toward midfield, sneaks it ahead. Aguilar turns back toward the middle, into the center circle, drops it off for Kirk Wilson. Turning up the near wing, and a through ball ahead for Miller. In behind, drops it off. Neto up the left wing side. Trout running onto the ball. Deep in the near corner. Down to the 2. Drops it back. Sedgwick moving up. 18 yards out. Trying to pass in front, but knocked away. Spins around. Still has it. On the near side, being challenged. Now cross along the 18. Backdoor side. As that's headed away out of the box. Moving in Aguilar onto the ball. Rolls it to the outside. Mendez moving up on the right. Cross along the 18. Wilson settles the ball. Trying to feed. Carrier, he spins. Weak dribbler in on goal, and it's scooped up by the keeper, Nelson. So the Rhinos finally getting a little penetration. Matt Nelson comes up with the ball. Out on the near side toward midfield, where it's taken by Dove. Drop back again, and turning back for it deep in his own corner is Hutchinson. On the near side with the right foot, delivers through midfield. Handed up in the air by Washington. Coming back is Sedgwick. He'll nod the ball down along the 35 in the middle for Wright. Pass downfield into the Virginia Beach territory, but taken away by the Mariners. Turn to the outside, up the left wing. Turn to the outside, and back for it goes Kirk Wilson. Drops it off at his 35. Wright has the ball. David Wright brings it forward to the outside on the right wing. Wilson back, moving up near midfield. Rolling ball through to Carriere, checking back, but that one got away from him. Picked up again. Dove in the center circle brings it forward. In the middle to the outside of the left wing, and Washington's in behind. And an offside flag. Offside against the Mariners. On the restart, pass to the outside along the near wing. Sedgwick out toward midfield. In the middle, giving it off to Aguilera. Bring it forward in the center circle for Neto. One touch dropping it back. Mendez on the right wing. We're now in the 60th minute. And time is not the friend of the Rhinos right now. Neither is the score. Trailing 3-0. And the ball out into the center circle, where it's taken by Neto. Drops it back. Long as 35 to Demon. Drawing it forward. Demon on the attack. Crossing to the outside of the right wing for Mendez. Trying to get to the ball and slides in but won't get to it. That's out of bounds. Throw it on the far side for the Mariners. Last year, Rhinos playing here in Virginia Beach on May the 9th. They ended up losing that one 3-0. Then the game on July the 11th in Rochester, winning it 3-2 in overtime. So the Rhinos had a tough year against the Mariners last year. And right now, with one win against the Mariners this year, however, trailing in this one 3-0. Foul is called against the Mariners, so a free kick for the Rhinos just across midfield on the right wing side. David Wright set for the throw. He chips it ahead. Down inside the 18. Tillman is there up in the air, but that's pulled down with the outstretch of the arms of Nelson. So the Virginia Beach keeper moves the players away. Now he'll send the kick through midfield. Stepping in underneath it, Mendez. Lays it out to the midfield line for Wilson. Drops it back in the middle. Pato will drop it off along his 35 to Demon. One touch off to his right, for right. Brings it forward, turns upfield. Sneaks a pass ahead. Pato one touch right back to Wilson. Long his 40, turns to the outside of the right wing for Mendez. Looks downfield, long delivery through. Getting to it to get the left foot on it as Morelli knocks it out of bounds. Throw it on the far side for the Rhinos. From the Virginia Beach 40. As Mendez steps up for the throw-in. Short to Neto. Turns to the outside with the ball now as Wilson steps in, takes it away. Turns to the outside, the far end of the box. Stops, spins around. Cross down in front, and the ball knocked away by Garcia. Along the 18, tipped to the outside and carried away by Amani Dove. Off the near wing on the right wing side. Chased from the eye by Trout, but gets away. Draws it along the near wing, and Cedric after the ball will step in the way. Places the keeper, and Johnson has to hustle to hammer it away up into the stands. So a pass on the near side of the field out of bounds. Throw in. Now it'll be Samedo checking into the match, and Aguilar will check out. In the 62nd minute. 62nd minute. Pato is out.
Into the match for the Rhinos.
And Samedo is in.
Carlos Samedo. Samedo replaces number 7, Pato Aguilera.
All right, throw in on the near side of the field for the Mariners at the Rhino 20. There's the throw in short to Garcia. To the outside again for Hutchinson. Trying to sneak it through as it's knocked away by Trout. Along the near wing, gets away with the ball. Trout up the left wing side toward midfield. Sneaks the ball through, nobody there. And it's recovered. Now knocked loose. Miller after the ball, but getting to it first, the keeper Nelson inside the 18. He'll first time it way up in the air and across midfield. Demon in under the ball. Now Cedric heads it forward. And a sliding block of the ball by Amani Dove comes out of the midfield line. In the center circle, recovered by the Mariners. And across midfield to the left side is not. Turns back, trying to get away from Kirk Wilson. Spins to the outside again. Has it still along the midfield line. Has Wilson on him. The ball chipped ahead and taken away by Neto. Samedo drops it off to the outside of Mendez across midfield. After it, Wilson in the middle for Neto. His chip up the right side to Miller, but that's blocked away and across midfield on the far side and out of bounds. And a throw in for the Rhinos. Throw in across midfield. Drop back again. Turn to the outside along the near wing. Cross midfield on the left side for Trout. As he's watched by Amani Dove. Trout still with the ball. Drops it back at the midfield line for Cedric. Off the near wing. Chips it ahead, but the Mariners step in underneath it, and Dan Buskey will jam it out the midfield. Garcia coming back for the ball as he's bothered by Cedric. It's in the center circle, taken by the Mariners. Pass behind Finger out of the far side, and not up with the ball for the Mariners. Drops it back to Morelli along his 35. Rolls it out to midfield for Finger. Bounced away momentarily, then drops it back to Dan Buskey along his 30. And in the middle, 64th minute, and a 3-0 lead for the Mariners. Cross midfield, handed away by right to midfield. The Rhinos have the ball. Wilson up the right side on the attack. Samedo. He sneaks the ball through to Carrieri on the right wing. Pass down inside the 18, but nobody there can get to it. And the ball chipped away out to midfield. Flicked on by Washington, but knocked down. The Rhinos take it back. Cross midfield on the attack. Moving up the right side. Wilson to the outside carrier. He's 20 yards out on the far side. Through ball inside the far end of the box. Wilson at the end line. Getting tied up. Knocked along the end line. And the ball kicked away and out over the end line. And that off the Rhinos. Rhinos are saying, wait a minute. Wilson saying it went off of the Virginia Beach player but does not get the call. This is a goal kick. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Business Strategies, Rochester's original business-to-business publication. Clarion Riverside Hotel with 400 rooms, banquet space, and Bennigan's Grill and Tavern. By Webster Chrysler Jeep at 2111 Empire Boulevard in Webster. And by Nextel, sponsor of the Nextel Direct Connect call-in show following each game. Ball ahead, sneaking through. Washington moving it across the 18. Stops, through back in the middle. Washington out to knock it away. Or right that Johnson out knocks the ball away off the foot of Washington on a backheel pass from Garcia. So again, that dangerous combination is getting the ball through, and Johnson has to cover up. On the near wing, Garcia on the near touchline being grabbed onto by Sedgwick. He's showing the ref, wait a minute, Garcia's holding onto my jersey. Another excellent save made by Johnson. 66th minute, 3-0 lead for the Mariners. Rhinos have two players left for possible substitutions, Steenkamp and John Wilson. Restart. 35 yards out on the right wing side by Garcia. He'll send it down to the 18, getting the left foot on it is Trout, but they shanked it. It pops him in the air, comes down inside the 6, and Johnson out to grab it on the fly. Rhino keeper has the ball, 67th minute.
Chiropractic is the official chiropractor of the Virginia Beach Mariners.
Mariners with a 3-0 lead. Johnson pass out on the wing, but that's behind Mendez and out of bounds, so a giveaway on the part of the Rhinos.
Be sure to pick up your Greater Tidewater and Peninsula apartment.
Far side of the field to throw in now for the Mariners.
Or call 549-3609 for your very own copy.
Be taken by Hutchinson.
Finest living.
Looks for an open man. Long, high throw in deep to the corner for Washington. Turning in behind, trying to get loose. Mendez knocks it out over the end line, so this will create the corner kick for the Mariners. Corner off the left wing side to be taken by Garcia. Yes, it looks like we'll see Steenkamp coming into the match.
Another Mariners corner.
And also a substitution for the Mariners. Alvarez getting ready to check in. Here's the corner kick off the left wing side. High chip into the 18. Ball knocked down to the 6, and Dibben able to kick it out of the near wing. Trout won't get to it. It's out of bounds. Throw it on the near side for the Mariners. Ball left there over for the throw-in. It'll be Hutchinson. Off the near side of the field. Hutchinson backs up. Now takes a run at it. Another throw-in. Flick on along the 6. Knocked down, and Sedgwick gets the left foot on it to pop it up in the air on the near side, and one big bounce across midfield. Dan Buskey sends it the other way, but Trout is there. Heads it ahead to the midfield line and recovered by the Mariners, their own side of midfield. I went chipped ahead down to the Rhino 25. Right, heads it forward. Underneath it, Tomato knocks it to the outside, and Kirk Wilson after the ball. In a collision, gets spun around with Shack, and the foul is called on the Mariners. Free kick for the Rhinos. Substitution coming up as we will see David Wright coming out and Lennon Steenkamp going in here in the 69th minute. Steenkamp is in. Wright is out. And I believe this is the first minutes that David Wright has not played this season. I think he had played every minute until this point.
23, Lennon Steenkamp.
All right, so Wright, well-deserved rest.
Dave Wright.
As the Rhinos will be resting the players that they need to rest with 5 games on the road in the next coming 8 days. Restart for the Rhinos, their own side of midfield. Alvarez is in, still waiting for his substitution for the Mariners. All right, so Tomato placing the ball. Now we see the substitution being called for. Alvarez will be checking in, and Garcia will be coming off in the 69th minute.
Substitution for your Virginia Beach Mariners. Into the bat for the Mariners, number 15, Daniel Alvarez.
Well, Alvarez is in again. Garcia is out.
Number 17.
Garcia with an assist on the night, but he had a heck of a game. He's a very impressive-looking player. All right, 3-0 in favor of the Mariners. We're in the 70th minute now. So the Rhinos need a field goal to get back in this one. Pass to the left wing side. Cedric ahead for Trout. On the 30, turning toward the middle. Lays it in the middle for Samedo stepping up at the play. Through ball inside the 18, but nobody for the Rhinos can get to it. It rolls down and all the way to the end line where it's taken by Nelson. Carrieri will pressure, and finally Nelson picks the ball up.
Offers all athletes the best treatment in sports medicine.
Runs through the 18-yard box out top. Carrieri still following him, so Nelson has to play the ball. On volley kick to midfield, headed forward by Samedo. Checking back Miller. And Kirk Wilson chips it across midfield, but right to Dan Buskey, and he'll play it out to the midfield line. Amani Dove rolls it to the outside. Pass on the near wing. Fenger takes it. On the near wing and the right wing side. Trying to turn it into the middle for Washington, and does. Drops it back in the middle, but stepping up and bringing the ball away. Wilson, however, that one bouncing away off his foot. On the far side, picked up by Alvarez. He'll drop it back to his defensive row, where it's taken by Morelli. From his 35 and across midfield. It's a flick on by Dove. Down inside the near end of the 18. Shot in. They score. Off the right wing side to pass from Washington to Fenger. Takes a shot to the wide side by the right hand of Soren Johnson. Inside the left post. It's now 4-0. Goal in the 71st minute. As Fenger scores. Jacob Fenger picking up his third of the season. And Dante Washington with the assist. Washington with a goal and an assist on the night. And so it's a big night here for the Mariners. And it's a tough one for the Rhinos.
Into the 71st minute of play by number 11, Jacob Fenger.
Fenger with his third.
Fenger's goal assisted by number 21, Hamisi Amanita.
Oh, they say it was Dove, not Washington with the assist. All right, so Dove gets the assist. And a penalty kick goal earlier, so he has a goal and an assist tonight. And a foul is called and a restart for the Mariners from their own 35. On the right wing side, 72nd minute, now a 4-0 lead for the Mariners. And they say on the scoreboard that Virginia Beach out shooting the Rhinos 10-2. Ball all the way out to the 35. Spinning back and helping out as Miller drops it off at his 20 for Mendez and a pass ahead for Steenkamp. Trying to not make it through, but the ball is blocked and now pulled forward out to the center circle for Trout. Long up the right wing side, trying to get through as Miller in behind, but offside flag is in the air. So the Rhinos offside. Free kick for the Mariners from their own 30 off on the left wing side. Ball played forward, Miller moving in as he'll take and kick it down into the net, and what he's saying is that the player Knott came up and played the ball back to the keeper. Miller just ran into the ball. Of course, Knott was wasting his time. Miller is saying, wait a minute, he's wasting time, and play should have been started. But he doesn't get any help from the referee, who now comes back and talks to Doug Miller. Well, Miller is saying and contending that he played the ball away for the keeper, who was walking very slowly out from the net to take the kick. So that should have been the restart. Long ball played it into Rhino territory. Back at the far side, headed away by Wilson, checking back as Samedo. Drops it off deep in the right wing corner, and Mendez will chip it up the right wing out to midfield. Headed back in the middle, blocked forward by Steenkamp through midfield. Trying to sneak the ball ahead, and does for Miller. Turns it back to Steenkamp. Through ball at the right side, but nobody will get to it as the ball rolls out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Mariners. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Golden Memories, the bus company the Rhinos use. Tire World at 2049 Empire Boulevard in Webster. Halo East Athletic Club on the web at HaloEast.com. And by Zweigel's, providing sausage and meat products since 1880.
Or check out Fazoli's.com for our location.
Here's the goal kick. From the keeper, Nelson, through midfield. That one flights over top of Demon, then nodded ahead by Finger, and rolls down inside the 18. Johnson out, first times it away downfield. Ball knocked back on the near side. Up on it is Trout on the left wing. Draws it forward along the near side, trying to get by Dove. Spinning back along the near touchline. Drops it back at the midfield line. Sedgwick on the near side for Samedo. His own side of midfield to Craig Demon. And pass through the center circle. Rolls it on the far side, and checking back to the ball is right, or rather, Kirk Wilson. Pass in the center circle, Samedo. Bounced away off his foot, knocks it loose, and then it's recovered by the Mariners. Into the center circle for Washington. As he turns, draws it forward, trying to get away from Samedo, and a pass to the right wing side. Running onto the ball along the near wing, but that went away from Dove out of bounds. Throwing on the near side for the Rhinos. 75th minute, and a 4-0 lead for the Mariners. Couldn't tell you when the last time was that the Mariners gave up 4 goals in a game. Pass down inside the 18. Now the Rhinos coming in tonight have been second in the league in goals against, having allowed only 9. But that total will take a big bump here tonight. Pass up the right wing side, deep to the end line, and it's played away by Nelson. Sends it out of bounds on the far side. Quick throw in for the Rhinos. Neto taking it 15 yards out at the far end of the box. Chips it ahead along the 18, moving in underneath it. Miller trying to get through, but can't, and the ball kicked away out on the near side. Stepping up, Sedgwick along the near wing. Pass ahead in the middle for Samedo. Sneaks the ball through, down inside the 18, turning behind Miller as he's taken down. Offside flag is in the air. So the Rhinos offsides again. Most goals the Rhinos had given up in a game this year was 2. That was a loss at Toronto against the Lynx, and then there was a loss to D.C. United in a friendly. But other than that, the most they had allowed in a game was 1 goal. Lighted through midfield. Demon stepping back, heads it in the air, coming down the center circle. Neto with a flick on. Carrieri checking back, but can't get to it. And it's recovered by the Mariners. Rolled down inside the 18 to Nelson. Out on the near wing as he'll flight it through midfield. Sedgwick underneath it. Heads it forward, and helping out is Samedo. Rolls it up the left wing for Trout across midfield. Trout pass in the middle for Neto. Drawing it forward, being chased from behind by Shack, and he's spun around. The ball taken away. Back to the center circle for Washington. Turns in behind to get away from Mendez. Pass ahead on the left side. Out to the 18, and scooping up the ball to the 18 is Johnson. His finger was on the doorstep. Pass ahead for Steenkamp at the midfield line. Turns back across midfield. Then on the right side, we'll roll it through to Miller. Spins in behind to get away from Nod and up the right wing. Miller at the far touch line. Down to the 25. Pass in the middle for Steenkamp. Tried to sneak it through, but knocked away off his foot out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for the Rhinos from around the 25 on the far side of the field. Substitution as McManus will be checking in for the Mariners. And Billick will be stepping off for the Mariners.
For your Virginia Beach Mariners.
78th minute.
Tony McManus.
78th minute time of this substitution.
Is number 6, Jeff Billick.
Billick is out. McManus is in. So a throw in again, 30 yards out off the right wing side for the Rhinos. Rochester trailing 4-0. Mendez for make that Kirk Wilson is over there for the throw-in. On the 18, but headed away out of the box and all the way out on the far side of the field, near midfield, and the rolling ball of the bounds. Throw in the midfield line for the Rhinos. Here in the 78th minute. They're throwing along the midfield line. Samedo with a pass ahead for Steenkamp. Stepping back for the ball, drops it off at the midfield line for Mendez. Rolls it toward the center circle where it's taken by Samedo. Drawing it forward, a pass ahead for Trout. Checking back, and he's run over from behind. And play goes on. No call. It comes out of the near wing to Sedgwick. As a 40 yards out into the middle for Kirk Wilson. Turning upfield. Trying to sneak it through. Then the ball knocked away and hammered out across midfield. Mendez underneath it. Getting to the ball. Rolls it back in the middle where it's taken by Demon. Looks around and to the outside of the near wing. Sedgwick stepping up at the midfield line. Pass in the middle. Trout turning it ahead. On the near wing. Sneaks into the middle for Miller. Mounted. Bounced away off his foot and played aside by Shack in the middle again, taken by Wilson. Chips it down inside the 18, near into the box. Rolling ball out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Mariners. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Dunkin' Donuts, located throughout the Rochester area, Mulgay Chevrolet Oldsmobile and Buick in Honeoye Falls, by Spinning Webs, the official website provider of the Rhinos, and by Myers RV in Churchville, just off I-490. Into the match now is Winkle, and out is Finger in the 80th minute.
The Atlanta Bread Company is a fast casual.
80th minute, Winkle is in. Finger is out. Finger scoring his third goal of the season here tonight. And the ball flighted through midfield off the goalie kick. Picked down into the Rhino 35, and Mendez is there. Plays it up the far wing and brought away by Kirk Wilson. We're in the 80th minute, chipped up the right wing side. Neto couldn't get under it. Moving forward, Steenkamp is knocked down, and play goes on. Ball brought up to the center circle on the near wing. Into Rhino territory. Winkle chips it up the left wing, but no help there. Out of bounds to the far side, and a throw in for the Rhinos from their own 25. Mendez for the throw in. Short to Devin along his 18. Rolls it out on the near wing and brought forward by Billy Sedgwick. Pass of the near side to Trout as he approaches midfield. Brings it back in the middle to Salento. To the outside along the near wing, Sedgwick. First times it through midfield, and there it's deflected back at the midfield line. Winkle pass in the middle, but stepping in is Steenkamp to take it away. In the center circle to Neto. Turns upfield, looks ahead for the ball, and he'll chip it up the left wing side. Running under the ball is Trout. At the near end of the box, down to the 5. Turns back toward the middle, right foot cross, and that's through the 6 out the far end of the box, and chased down on the far side by Alvarez. Wilson watching him. Alvarez rolls it into the 18, and there it's kicked away by Knott out through midfield and recovered by the Rhinos. Their own side of midfield taken by Demon. Cross to the near side. Sedgwick on the left wing and across midfield. Pass ahead for Carrieri, checking back. As he'll try to pull to the middle. Bump by Shack, and the ball knocked away. Taken in the center circle by Washington. He'll roll it ahead at the right side. Running onto the ball now, Winkle. On the right wing, Salento after him. Shot in. Blocked away. Diving save by Johnson. Gets the hand on it. As it in at the 6, taken away by Washington. Gets the shot away. Johnson sliding save. And the Rhinos with a very costly giveaway. Almost cost them inside the 18-yard box. At the far end, looking for a cross. Once again, Alvarez. Dogs it on top of the far wing. 35 yards out. Cross through on the near side for Dove. Pass on the right wing side. Is knocked away, and Dove recovers the ball. On the near wing again, Amani Dove. Back to near midfield. Drops it to his own side of midfield for Dan Muskie. Pass to the center circle. Dove dropping it off for Morelli. And the Mariners have had their ways here tonight. Scoring 4 goals on the night and had plenty of opportunities besides. Right now on the clock, they show 12 shots for the Mariners and 2 for the Rhinos. I don't know. I think it could be worse than that, maybe. I have 14 shots for the Mariners on my unofficial stats. Ball is knocked away and out of bounds on the far side. Another substitution coming up. Gomez in and Washington out.
Substitution for
the Mariners in the 83rd minute.
To the match, number 16, Jose Gomez.
So Gomez is in.
Gomez replaces number 9, Dante Washington.
And Washington certainly has been the man of the hour here tonight. A goal, and I don't know, he's had some fabulous plays, and all night long the pressure has been applied, mostly because of the playmaking of Washington.
Jonathan and Mia.
All right, Rhinos have the ball, turned to the outside on the near wing. Brought forward by Sedgwick. Out toward midfield, pass back in the middle to Steenkamp, dropping it off at his 25 in the middle for Demon. Turns to the outside of the right wing for Mendez, as now we're in the 83rd minute. And the ball brought out toward midfield. Ahead with it on the right wing side. Wilson pass ahead for Carrieri, trying to turn in behind, gives it off to Neto. Return pass, Carrieri. But moving up on the outside, well, Carrieri gets to it, tried to feed it ahead to the end line, but the ball knocked away at the far touchline. It's taken by the Mariners. The pass ahead up the wing. Up in the air, Salento moving in, but can't control the ball. It's brought away by the Mariners. And a pass in the middle. After it, turned to the outside along the near wing by McManus. And up on the right side across midfield on the attack is Hutchinson. Turns it to the outside along the near wing for Amani Dove. Pass back in the middle. Salento stepping in. He'll deflect it through midfield. Miller turning back to the ball. And Buskey heads to the side. Pops it up in the air in the center circle. Steenkamp moving in. Blocks it forward to Neto. Turns in the middle. Neto on the right side. But no one headed away by Morelli. And then knotted back inside the 18 by Knott to the keeper. So Nelson has the ball. 84th minute, 4-0 lead for the Mariners. Nelson throws it out on the near side to Hutchinson. Brings it forward out to the 35. And ahead to midfield, bumped by Neto, and the ball knocked away but bounced off the foot of Trout and out of bounds. Throw in on the near side of the field for the Mariners.
The doctor's in.
And right now they're not sending anybody over for the throw-in. Hutchinson sits down on the field and ties his shoe. More time-wasting tactics. So the throw-in across midfield in Rhino territory. Gains about 10 yards on the throw-in and long up the near side to Amani Dove. Drops it back. Hutchinson pass in the middle, but Centric's there for the Rhinos. Feed ahead for Steenkamp. Up to Miller. One touch dropping it back. Kirk Wilson, who appears to be playing the right outside on defense. Head for Steenkamp. Turns it up the right wing and across midfield for Miller. As he dummies the ball, nobody in behind him, and is taken away. And the Rhinos are just really out of sync here tonight. On the midfield line and turned up the left wing, brought ahead by Winkle. Into Rhino territory, down to the 35. He'll drop it off to the outside. In the back, he'll pass to Winkle on the return. Up the far touchline, turns it behind to get away, and pass along the far side to the corner. That's down near the end line. Cross along the 6, knocked down in front, and out to grab it on the hop as Johnson throws it out to the near side for Neto. Off the left wing, but the ball bounced away, and a collision with Shack. They both go down, and the ball rolls out of bounds on the near side. Throw in for the Rhinos on the near side of the field. 86th minute. And a 4-0 lead for the Mariners. Turns the outside on the near wing. Cedric brings it ahead. Drops it back in the middle to Samedo. Long is 35 in the middle for Steenkamp. Draws it forward, looks downfield. Long kick out to the center circle, but blocked aside. Deflected on the near wing, and in underneath it is Cedric. Drawing it forward, turns to the open outside on the left wing for Trout. Going deep to the corner, Hutchinson on him. Trout with the cross along the 6. Snuck through, but the ball just sneaks by Neto and out the far side. And carried away to the far end of the box by Knott. Turns it up the left wing side. Chip forward, but stepping in is Steenkamp. Intercepts, rolls it in for Neto. Backheel carry along the 18 as he's dumped and the foul is called. Foul is called right along the 18. So the Rhinos will have the free kick just outside the 18 or right on the line almost. 87th minute, 4-0 lead for the Mariners. 4-0 lead. Rhinos have scored only one goal now in almost 4 games. Had 1 goal last game and shut out the previous 2. No goals here tonight. Offense has been lacking, to say the least. Samedo and Wilson there. Samedo with the left foot. Goes for the net, and he puts it high and wide to the left. So out over the end line. Goal kick for the Mariners. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include World Gym, official strength training facility of the Rochester Sports Group. By Tunes by Todd, DJ service for all your entertainment needs. Go to tunesbytodd.com. By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Bill Gray's with 13 locations in Rochester. Another substitution. Shack is out, and Jonas is in for the Mariners here in the 88th minute. Jonas in, so that's the final substitution of the match for the Mariners. And Shack had an excellent night with a goal and an assist on the game. And now the ball down inside the 18, out to grab it on the hop is Johnson. The Rhinos have the ball. Rhinos will throw it out on the near side. Right ahead up the left wing. Sedgwick ahead. We're in the 88th minute. And the Rhinos again trending 4-0. 1-0 at half in favor of the Mariners, scoring on a penalty kick, and they took off from there with 3 goals in the second half. Pass ahead at the 35 for Neto. As he turns back toward the middle. He's trying to sneak the ball through to Carriere, near into the box. Turns, drops it off. Trout moving in to his right. Turns, right foot, but that one deflected wide and out over the end line. Well, they just bent it wide, evidently, out over the end line, so it'll be a goal kick for the Mariners to be taken by the keeper, Jeff Nelson. Matt Nelson make that. 89th minute now. As I think the Rhinos will be just as happy to see this one come to an end here in a hurry. Get it over with. Ball chipped out through midfield. Up in the air they go and played it over Samedo. That's knotted forward by Winkle deep to the far corner. Jonas underneath it. And Mendez knocks it away from him and out of bounds on the far side. Far side of the field after it. Throw in for the Mariners. Throw in. Short to Jonas, turning him back to the outside for Alvarez. As he's watched, drops it off. Back at midfield, and played to his own side of midfield for Dan Buskey, and then he'll send it all the way back to the keeper. Nelson takes it there. Carrieri on him, but Nelson with the left foot will jam it out through midfield. That's knocked down in the center circle as a foul is called on the Mariners, and it'll be a restart for the Rhinos in the center circle. All right, Semedo plays it to the outside. Cedric, return pass to Semedo. Spinning back in the middle for Demon. As we approach the 90th minute, we're in the 90th minute, and the clock will be stopping at 90 here shortly. Steenkamp threw ball to Carrieri and then knocked off his foot as he tries to turn inside. Knocked out over the end line. A corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester corner off the right wing side. Will be taken by Neto. As he moves to the outside on the right wing. Sets it up. With the right foot, an outswinging kick from Neto. Looks it over and chips a high one into the box through the back door side. Near end of the box taken by Trout. Settles it with the right foot. Chips it back down inside. And the ball headed out the far end of the box. Rolling to the end line and not over the line. So another corner for the Rhinos. 2 minutes of stoppage time. 2 minutes of additional time. And the corner kick off the left wing side once again. To be taken by Neto. There's the service low into the box and headed away by Amani Dove out the near end. Underneath it goes Trout. Drops it back near midfield. Cedric takes it in the middle. Draws it forward up the near side with a left foot. Pass in for Steenkamp. Sneaks through. As Samantha one touch on the ball. Tried to slot it through, but it's deflected out on the near side and then hammered away up the near wing. Cedric after the ball. Rolls it in the middle for Demon. Turns back in the middle. Has it 35, 40 yards out. Chips it ahead, but the ball is headed away by Morelli. Out the far wing. Back for it. Winkle drops it off. And not to the outside for Winkle. Turning back as the Mariners play catch on the north end of the field. Rod forward. Steenkamp stepping in. Has deflected away. Semedo. Touching it to Kirk Wilson. Pass in the middle. 30 yards out. Trout flicks it forward. Carrier nods it forward. And then he is knocked down. And the foul is called. The yellow card coming out on Hutchinson. So in the 90th minute, Hutchinson draws the yellow.
Card given in stoppage time to number 5, Russell Hutchinson.
Free kick for the Rhinos. 25 yards out, a little bit to the left of center. We're in stoppage time, and the Rhinos trailing 4-0. The Rhinos having a tough night, to say the very least, here tonight. Getting set now for the kick for the Rhinos. As the referee writing the information in his book. And moving the wall back to around the 15. Semedo and Wilson are there for the kick. Who's going to take it? Wilson chips it down in front, but that one headed away at the far end of the box. Neto after it. Turning from side to side, trying to get loose. Still has it. Turns 25 yards out, drops it in the middle for Semedo. Plays it to the outside of the near wing, and Trout has to check back for the ball. And 35 yards out, turning toward the middle. Plays it back into the center circle for Semedo. We're in stoppage time. Semedo long to the right wing side for Demon. Down to the 18, trying to head it back in front, but the ball is out of bounds on the far side, and a throw in. And there's the whistle on this night of agony for the Rhinos comes to an end. So to say the very least, a tough night tonight for the Rhinos as the Mariners wallop the Rhinos in the final score. The Virginia Beach Mariners 4, the Raging Rhinos nothing. And this is the Raging Rhinos Radio Network.